if there are thousands of people, which I know there are, who are a part of your listeners, if they would take it upon themselves to write up a curriculum for their grades to include this, whether it be history, as part of history repeating itself, because we've had desertification and all of this before in history. It could be justified under so many different subjects that teachers are supposed to go. And maybe if they write to you and you put them in groups of the grades, of what's appropriate for the different grades, maybe we could get it into schools that way. And even organize it into parent teachers association meetings with willing parents providing vegan snacks and having that be a lure to come.
Yeah, great idea. There's an organization, healthyschoollunches.org is actually the website. So you can go to healthyschoollunches.org, and Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine runs that, and they've created a bunch of curriculum and resources for folks to advocate. So parents, even grandparents, aunts, uncles, if you've got kids in your life who are in school, schools are supposed to prepare us for the future. So shouldn't they be helping us to eat well? There are lots of studies showing us that nutrition has a huge impact on children's ability to learn and even their mental health. So helping kids to develop a foundation of healthy diet is so important, and that'll be a skill they have with them for the rest of their life. I can't think of anything more important really for them to learn in school. So that's a great resource, is healthyschoollunches.org.
Thanks very much for that, Ocean. And we have a question coming in from Janet. Hi, Janet. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Ocean, for everything. I've been following you for years. My question currently, though, is growing your own food at home, but in a veganic way, organic and vegan, because when you go to the stores, can we trust the seeds that we buy when they say they're organic? Are they organic seeds? Do we need to buy organic seeds when we're planting or plants, or do we just, the information like that? Is that on your website? And as far as our soil, making it healthy without using animal products that they're all recommending. So could you comment on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to foodrevolution.org, you'll find hundreds of articles on all kinds of food and health related topics. And some of them are about how to grow food in healthy ways. We don't typically use the word veganic per se. We just promote using wholesome ways to grow food because we're just trying to reach a broad audience. But it is important how your food is growing. And you don't have to sign a purity pact to be a part of the food revolution. So we all have our own parts of the journey, but the more you can support local, organic, healthy food production systems, the better. And the best way to do that is with growing it yourself. Then you know exactly how it was grown and what went into it. And absolutely, if you're going to be growing food and you're buying seeds or baby plants, try to get them organic, because it does matter where they come from and how they start out. At the same time, again, don't make the perfect the enemy of the good. If you can't, doing something that's really, really good is still better than anything else out there, even if it's not perfect, But there are all kinds of wonderful ways to create healthy, teeming, rich soil that are loaded with earthworms and beneficial microbes that produces super nutrient dense food. And most of them do not involve inputs of blood meal and bone meal and stuff from factory farms. If you really want healthy organic food, then the best way to do it is to use all the inputs being healthy ones that create healthy soil, that don't have toxins and heavy metals and are not complicit in systems that you may not want to fuel with your dollars. So I totally support all of those efforts. And, we actually I'm blessed to live in a little tiny eco village where we grow a lot of food. We have about 30 fruit trees. They're still babes. They're not really growing fruit yet, but they will be. And we host permaculture classes where people are coming to learn about permaculture with our land as a demo site. And so I'm learning about all kinds of awesome things like rainwater catchment and berms and swales and, principles for how to keep pests out in safe and healthy ways that are good for the environment instead of destroying it. And it's companion planting. And there's just so many cool techniques you can learn. Many of them developed by indigenous peoples long ago, but we can weave them back into the modern world in ways that help us thrive.
Thanks, Mike. And let's go now to Stacy. Welcome.
Hey there. Super thankful for everything that you guys do at Food Revolution. Robbins, you have been a huge part of changing my life in addition to your dad. And I'm not sure if you are familiar with the Physicians Committee, the Food for Life program that they have. I am a Food for Life instructor and love being, I guess, kind of like a disciple of this movement. And I'm just curious if you guys have ever thought of having some sort of program to help spread, the food revolution message, kind of like having instructors like that, teaching people, how to even garden or to cook or anything. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. And, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine has been a leader in this movement for decades, and they're doing so many good things. So definitely check out pcrm.org if you're not already familiar with them. And, Food for Life is one of many programs they offer. I think, that kind of hands-on mentorship, like teaching people directly in small classes and coaching and so forth, is really important. We're interested in developing more of that for ourselves. At this point, we're still creating resources that can reach lots and lots of people, because that's just how we think we can be the most efficient with a relatively small team. But, one step at a time, as we grow, all kinds of things are possible. And right now we're focusing on building out new courses and resources and our website and optimizing SEO and helping our work to reach more people. We're creating a course with dietitian Brenda Davis on tackling type 2 diabetes. We've just launched a course with Dr. Mimi Guarneri on healthy heart. We launched a course with Drs. Dean and Aisha Sherzai on healthy brain. My dad and I launched a course called Plant Powered and Thriving. All of these are available on our website, along with the 14-day accelerator, which is like a 2-week crash course in getting going on the journey, our Whole Life Club membership community, the Food Revolution Summit. These are all the things we've got so far. More to come. Absolutely. There's so much. I tell you, I have new ideas every day about what stuff we should do. And then I'm like, oh, we only have so many people. But, the opportunities are endless. The good news is we don't have to do it all. PCRM is already doing so much, so many other good organizations. So a lot of times we're just spreading the word and telling people about the resources that are already out there.
Thank you very much for that, Ocean. You're up to big things, and we are all glad you are. That is for sure. I'm going to bring in Sophia now. Welcome, Sophia.
Thank you so much. I just bought your program, and the recipes are really amazing, mouth-watering. Thank you so much. My question, please, is do you have any idea about a book concerning sprouting for a beginner?
Sprouting. Yes. Oh, I love sprouting. So good. So Doug Evans wrote a book on sprouting. He's kind of the sprout man. So you could look on Amazon for Doug Evans, and you can find that if you want to. We actually have him speaking in the upcoming Food Revolution Summit, so really excited about that. So you can see the interview. His book's called The Sprout Book, by the way. You can see an interview with him coming up in a couple of weeks. My dad will be interviewing him. Again, go to foodrevolutionsummit.org to check that out, or grab the Sprout Book online, and that's probably the best resource out there. Just a few words about sprouts. So sprouting is an incredible innovation for taking super nutrient dense foods, which are like legumes, and turning them into superstars of nutrient density. So sprouting increases the fiber content. It increases the bioavailability of the nutrients that are in the food. It increases vitamin and mineral content. It kind of brings the food to life and makes it more bioavailable, so you get more value from your food when you eat it. So sprouting is kind of awesome. And I super highly recommend it. And you can sprout, mung beans, you can sprout alfalfa, of course, a lot of people do, but you can also sprout a lot of different legumes and get these super nutrient dense foods. Broccoli sprouts are one of the real champs because they're the highest source known of a compound called sulforaphane, or actually there's a couple of compounds that come together to make sulforaphane out of the broccoli sprouts. And sulforaphane is one of the most powerful antioxidants. It's incredible at fighting cancer and boosting immune health and supporting overall wellness. So we all want to get lots of sulforaphane. It's in the brassica family. You get some from cabbage. If it's raw, you get some from broccoli and other raw veggies. But actually, it turns out that broccoli sprouts are number one for sulforaphane. So sprouting them is pretty cheap. Get broccoli seeds and sprout them, and highly recommend it. And they actually taste pretty good.
Thank you so much for that. And let me go ahead. We're going to go back to Kaylee. She's got a follow-up question. Welcome back, Kaylee.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ocean. I understand that the what and the how are being addressed on the different levels of education. One of the first questions that children ask is why. And so often the why is answered by because, and people's whys are suppressed. And by the time they get to be teenagers and adults, they're not sure that there's an answer for why anymore. And I would love to see the why being addressed on all levels of age and education.
Yeah.
Do you have programs for that?
Well, we don't have direct programs aimed at young people, but they are out there. And again, healthysschoollunches.org is one good resource for that. There are certainly others. The Institute for Humane Education creates wonderful programs that are focused on sort of ethics and compassion and nurturing that in young people. And there are lots of others. What I want to address in terms of the why is just to recognize that we don't all have the same why. But there are many doors in to the same place. And that same place is eating a whole foods, plant-centered diet, basing our diet around local, organic, natural, real foods instead of processed junk and animal products and mass-produced stuff, and that's the kind of core, that's where we're entering. But the doors in are so many, right? For some people, they're concerned about animals. They don't want animals to be tortured in factory farms. They don't want to kill animals so they can eat. Other people are concerned about the environment or climate change and their impact on the planet. And they don't want to be consuming water or resources that could otherwise be used to feed humanity, or they want to be part of the solution on the planet. Other people are concerned about their health. They've got a disturbing diagnosis. They're feeling aches and pains. They don't want to get cancer or heart disease or diabetes, or they want to lose some weight, or they just want to have more energy or sleep better or feel better. They want to have more mental clarity. They are concerned about their mental health. All of these things connect. And the good news is that, whatever your motivation is, whatever your reason is, if you walk through that door, you wind up in a healthier and a more beautiful place, and you wind up contributing to a healthier and a more beautiful world. So at Food Revolution Network, we're trying to create a lot of doors in, essentially, to the same direction. And, whatever your big why is, I want to invite you to connect with it. Whatever it is that motivates you and inspires you to be a part of this movement, or to make healthy choices, or even to learn about healthier choices. This is a great time to get connected with that, to feel that fire inside you. What does it mean to you to be a part of the food revolution, to make conscious choices with your food life? And how can you let that fire inspire you and stir you and move you to go forward?